Hey everyone, Jaime here from Bookkeepers.com, and this video comes from one of our Digital Bookkeeper Association office hour sessions. And if you don't know what the Digital Bookkeepers Association is, it's a passion project that we created to help bookkeepers grow, connect, and elevate their practice, and elevate the profession in general. In this session, we sat down with branding strategist and founder of Elementus, Keira Krenek. Keira shared some of the most powerful insights about how bookkeepers can build a brand that feels real, relatable, and most importantly, memorable. Now, this first session is going to be all about expanding your reach using paid ads. And before you hit skip, it may be more affordable than you think. So check it out.
What if you could take the content you're already creating and put it in front of thousands of people a day for just $5 to $20 a day? That's where meta ads are going to come in. When most businesses think of running ads, they think big budgets and complicated dashboards and wasting a lot of money trying to get it right. But meta ads don't have to be overwhelming or expensive. For solopreneurs, ads should be thought of as an amplifier, a way to take content that builds trust and authority and make sure it reaches far beyond your current following. The most effective ads right now, this is ever changing, so time date this, are ones that don't look or feel like ads at all. And this is called native social advertising. It's content that looks like something your audience would naturally see in their feeds. It blends in with the organic posts, which is why it has a much higher watch through rate than something that screams advertisement. Here are 3 examples of native ads. What makes this effective is that it blends into the content feed. It looks and feels like a natural part of the platform, rather than an obvious advertisement to avoid, because it mirrors the design and the tone of the surrounding content. Users are more likely to engage with it, and that's why native ads often deliver higher click-through rates and better engagement compared to traditional formats. It feels less like advertising and more like a valuable or at least relevant piece of content to interact with. If you choose to make video ads instead of just static ads that look like memes or story posts, and I highly recommend you do videos, I have a few tips to make sure that those videos are effective ads. Keep videos casual and authentic. Record them, what is it called? This is portrait mode. Record them portrait mode, face to camera on your phone, just like any other reel you've seen for someone talking. And add aesthetic captions, meaning a pretty font, because most people are scrolling with the sound off at first until they feel like they want to engage and listen to something. And then again, you have 3 seconds to hook their attention, and then you should end that ad with a natural next step, a soft CTA. The ad strategy that I'm proposing for you guys is based on the idea of authority content, which essentially proposes that you create 5 different advertisements. And for this, I am recommending that they all be 5 short videos. They should all be max 1 minute and 30 seconds, but 1 minute is best. 4 of them will be authority content with no proposition at the end. They will just purely be value and education and insights. And then the 5th one will actually have a call to action that leads to the possibility of working with you. There are a few proven types of authority content that you can create, and they include value-driven tips, like small actionable insights, problems and solutions, show how you solve a common small pain point, belief shifting, bust an industry myth or misconception, frameworks, simple, 3 simple how-to steps, and client stories or real life transformations. Now, if you're hesitant to try ads, one option is to post these videos organically first and see which ones perform best. If people are watching, saving, or sharing it for free, it's probably a good candidate for an ad. But keep this in mind. Sometimes content doesn't perform so well on your personal social feed, but it does extremely well as an ad, especially if your personal accounts don't already have your ideal audience following you. So while testing is an option, it's not required, and it's often worth putting $5 a day behind content right away to see how it resonates with a targeted audience. Choose your best performing or most relevant video and put the $5 a day behind it. Choose, and this is important, an awareness campaign or an engagement campaign as the type of ad. And when it comes to building a target audience, you should default to the Advantage Plus and let the context of your ad and the meta algorithm do the work for you in finding the ideal people. But if you really want more control, pick a niche audience like an industry that you want to work with, or if you only want to work locally, pick a location like your state or your greater city. But I do recommend that you target nationally. And once someone has watched your content and then they now trust you, you will create an audience of only people who have viewed your previous ads. And that's when you show them that 5th ad with the clear invitation to work with you or book a call. And there's multiple places you might send them from that ad, because that's going to be the only ad that has an actual button on it. You might send them to a landing page with that freebie opt-in, or directly to a calendar to book a discovery with you. But my recommendation is to set it up to go directly to a DM conversation in Instagram or Facebook, whichever platform you're using more. This is the most effective way to convert people from meta advertisements right now, because it's so human and relationship driven. Right? They're talking directly to the business owner right away. And it's not always the business owner. Some people do hire an assistant to manage and qualify these DM conversations for them, but it still implies the same connection. But the right destination for you is going to depend on your current goal, whether it's growing your following or building your email list or filling your calendar. It doesn't have to be direct to conversations.
Keira, sorry to interrupt. I like what you mentioned there with the DMs. So, and I just want some clarity. Are you saying what you would suggest is offering something that they would download, but you say like you make a post on Facebook, to use that as an example, and in that caption you say, DM me if you want this, essentially, and that establishes some kind of connection with the business owner? Is that the idea behind it?
It's a little more automated than that. So that you should be doing in every piece of short form content that you post. In that caption, you should always be asking a question or engaging and saying, DM me your thoughts, or comment your opinion, or tell me your story, right? Like, prompt them to engage. But when you're running an ad, there will be a button that says learn more, or reach out now, or book a call. And when they click on that button, and this isn't something you have to set up separately, Facebook will, you just turn on that configuration that it'll automatically send a message to you.
Gotcha.
Like with a pre-existing prompt. So maybe it might be like, tell me more. And that puts them in your inbox so you can immediately start engaging with them. It's not something that they actively have to go seek out to DM you. As soon as they click on that button, it starts that conversation.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. You used to have to do that outside of the platform, like automate something like ManyChats, but now they've built it in, which is great. When it comes to the analytics of ads, you don't need to track dozens of numbers, just focus on these 3. Video view percentages, 75 to 95%, click-through rates, which is when you add a link, how many people are clicking on it, and the cost per lead, which means if you're collecting emails, how much is it costing you each time someone actually opts in to your email. And of the videos that you're posting as advertisements, watch for which concepts have the best engagement and turn that into even more content with that same repurposing flow. Remember, this isn't about turning you into professional ad managers or media buyers. This is about seeing how ads are going to fit into your growth system. With that $5 a day, you can move people from never having heard of you to knowing you, liking you, and even trusting you, and then to even being ready to connect with you. But also understand that with a smaller budget, things are going to move slower. The growth is going to take a little more time for the algorithm. So give it 2 to 4 weeks before you really assess how they're working within the algorithm that you're going to put in front of the right people, especially if you're using the Advantage Plus. With engagement and awareness ads, we aren't looking for people to immediately convert to a sale just from seeing that ad directly. We are looking to get them into our ecosystem so that they can be nurtured and turned into relationships that you can convert down the line. And again, I know that was a lot to take in. Ads can feel complex, and if you've never run them before, we have only had time for a really high-level overview of that today, but don't worry, because in that toolkit, I created a really detailed workflow, step-by-step SOP guide on how you can set up these campaigns in the ad manager, including like how to link it to your website, how to set up a pixel, how to set up your billing info, everything that you'd need to try to run these yourself. It's gonna walk you through exactly what to do without having to guess. So before we wrap up, I just wanted to go over what those resources were in that toolkit so that you guys can get it after the workshop. I know they're going to put it in the chat as well, the link to that, but I have put together a free set of tools designed specifically for you guys who really want to improve your brand strategy, upgrade your website, or test out different ad strategies, all without getting too burnt out or breaking the bank on it. So let me just tell you a little bit about each of those. So the very first tool that I want you guys to use is actually an AI agent chatbot that we created for our coaching program, but it's the miniature version. So we call it the Orem Agent Mini, and this provides a precursor to the full brand strategies that we usually do with our full service and coaching clients. It looks like a chatbot, and it's gonna ask you a series of 9 questions. At the end, you will automatically get to download your PDF strategy from it. Please answer the questions and provide as much detail as possible to get the best results. Definitely don't skip this step. I promise you it's going to be extremely valuable to all the other work you do. That strategy guide called the Spark is going to help you define your brand's core values, your ideal audience, and your messaging framework so that you can move forward with creating a detailed messaging strategy with the other resources in the toolkit, knowing exactly who you're trying to speak to. And I don't just mean the industry, because you've probably already chosen the niche you want to work with. I'm talking about the insights in demographics, psychographics, and really talking to that audience in a way that resonates with them. Then you're going to move on to that message track builder, which is that workbook that we mentioned earlier. And it's really going to dig deep and help you build out a messaging strategy that's going to fuel any future copy or content that you're going to create. This workbook helps you go beyond, I help small businesses with their books, into something that actually grabs attention and is going to start conversations. Inside that workbook, you'll get the step-by-step guide on writing that statement, prompts to help you feel confident and clear, fill-in-the-blank templates to help you use on your website, LinkedIn bio, and intro emails, and a whole lot more, because that workbook is 20 pages long, and it's the same exercises that I use to craft my own messaging strategy when we launched the BAM program. The next one is website copy blocks, so that you are not just copy-pasting from other websites that you think could be good or completely winging it. This way, you will be creating content blocks for your website with copywriting best practices in place. It's going to give you real examples of headlines and about sections that are strong and show your value, a services section that focuses on results, not tasks, and a quick tip sheet on how to write for those 3 different types of readers who are going to land on your site. And it's perfect for building one-page websites or to hand off to a web designer if you don't want to do it yourself. Then the niche content planner. This is a spreadsheet that I'm guessing you're the kind of people that like a good spreadsheet, right? Like if you're overwhelmed by the idea of planning a content calendar or don't even know how to keep track of it because it just seems like too much of a creative writing exercise, this is going to help you keep track of your content and plan it out in a way that feels methodical. That's going to let you choose from pre-built content pillars that I already explained before, or you can add your own, how to plan and turn that one piece of content into 4. And it's designed to help you stay consistent, even if you're busy or if you're just like, I am not a content person. And finally, that $5 a day ad mini kit. There's actually 2 of them in there for each different campaign type because the setup is slightly different. And this way, this is a more detailed guide of that step-by-step instructions on how to set up those 2 recommended kinds of campaigns in the Meta Ad Manager. Inside that, you'll find how to properly set up campaign ad sets and create audiences within the ad manager, how to decide who to target, where to send people from your ad, and what numbers to watch for. And that's it. I just want to say thank you for giving me your time and energy today. And I hope this session has given you new insights and practical steps that you can apply to your branding journey. If you'd like to stay in touch with us, that's our website. You can stay in touch through our Instagram, and that is the link for the toolkit at the bottom as well.
Thank you all so much for watching. Again, this is part 1 of a 4-part series of an entire hour session that we had with Keira Krenek of Elemensis. If you want to see more, make sure to tune in next week for the second part, where we're going to be talking about personal branding versus business branding. And if you want to check out the resource that she mentioned in the video, the free toolkit for bookkeepers, it's going to be in the description below. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.